Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Romain, puppeteer and musician working in the Arts Can Teach program, with a little update on what's going on in the ELL kindergarten classes that are involved. The 8 lessons I'm bringing there are all based on the book The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson. The teacher has been sent this book in advance of the lesson, so they've got their own copy. You may know the story. It's a great little story that takes place in the deep, dark woods. And it involves a little mouse who goes through a walk, and just about everybody he meets wants to eat him. He introduces the vocabulary that will be used that day. Yeah, can you repeat after me? Fox, mouse, underground house. Very good. It's good to have the mouse from the story there helping out. It really brings the lesson to life. We read this much of the story the first time. The second lesson, we read that much plus a little more. Third lesson, that much plus a little more. And this way, the repetition of the story, the kids catch on to what's going to happen next. They're able to repeat the story out loud along with you. And that's really the point, isn't it? To get them speaking. And it's also written in rhyme. Where are you going, little mouse? Come for lunch in my underground house. You see, you were going to say house along with me, weren't you? Of course you were. That's how rhyming works. In each lesson, the same sequence of events takes place. We meet the mouse, we introduce the vocabulary of the day, we read the story as far as it goes, remembering and speaking just as many of the words as we can. And there's a lot of call and answer, repeat after me kind of thing, stopping and starting. Wouldn't it be nice to have a puppet to go along with the story? So in the first lesson, we all stop and we make the fox puppet. They are able to cut out and color and stick onto a stick their own fox puppet. So we're ready to do some reading again, and this time they have a puppet to use as they speak the fox's words. I should mention that I spent some time with these teachers in a PD session, and I sent them a bag like this. It's a kit that has everything they need to make this puppet. And indeed we did. We had a wonderful workshop where each teacher made their own special mouse puppet. Thinking ahead to this, you see. Now they've got their own, but it's hidden in the classroom. So when it's time for this mouse to pay them a visit in their class, we put it into the magic container there. And don't forget, we have to put the lid on. There it goes. And then we sing our magic song. La, 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 la. We get some music involved. The mouse's theme song. Ooh, lo and behold, what's happened? The mouse has magically disappeared from, where is he? Well, he's in your classroom, and the teacher finds him in his hiding place, and the identical puppet then takes over in the hands of the teacher. The puppet has a question of the day. I think in the first lesson it's, why did the fox run away from the mouse? Students think about it and give their best answers. They talk about the story, and then we take out our puppets and we have a final read of the story as far as it goes that day. In the second lesson, the owl, the snake in the next lesson, and finally we make the Gruffalo, of course. Now we've heard about the Gruffalo and we've learned to describe him, and by the time we make the Gruffalo, the students can say by heart what he looks like. He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws, orange eyes, and his tongue is black, and he's got purple prickles all over his back. So the rhyming really helps, but we've said it 100 times by then. They know that off by heart, and they can point to all the parts as we go through the story from then on. We never make a mouse puppet until the very end, because the teacher has the mouse puppet and I have the mouse puppet. But in the end, we decide, wouldn't it be nice to complete our set and everyone make the mouse, and we'll even give him a nut to eat at the end of the story. And that's a bit of a spoiler for you now, because you know the mouse lives. He doesn't get eaten by the Gruffalo. So there you go. At the end of the lesson each day, they send the mouse back to me here in the studio with the magic music and the magic box, and we're ready to start the lesson the next time we get together. After all the lessons, the teacher knows that I've got a special YouTube clip for them to see anytime they want, in which I'll be singing the Gruffalo story. And they can sing along because the words don't change. They know the words by now. So it's a lesson that can keep going on and on long after I've left the classroom. Virtually, that is. I hope that brings you up to date, and we're having a lot of fun in the Arts Can Teach program. Bye for now.